When you sit down to decide whether a new amp is worth the space on your shelf, the biggest question isn't just how loud can it get, but will it actually fit into my daily listening routine without turning my simple setup into a tech maze? That hesitation is real, especially when you've probably already spent a few nights scrolling through specs and wondering if you'll end up with an over-engineered piece that sits unused. I'm going to walk through the Marantz Model 50 Pure Analog Stereo Integrated Amplifier the way you would if you were standing in front of your record player, your turn-on-off button, and the rest of your existing gear. The link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the Model 50 is positioned as a pure analog solution, which basically means you're getting a stripped-down, Class A/B power stage that focuses on the two-channel signal path you already have. The real value here comes from the way Marantz has kept the front panel simplicity intact while still providing enough connectivity to avoid a lot of extra gear. You get 6 analog inputs, a dedicated Phono stage, a subwoofer-level output, and a preamp out that can feed a power amp if you ever want to step off the integrated route. That range of options is a direct response to the problem many analog lovers face: I need an amp that can handle my turntable, my CD player, my streaming source, and maybe a little extra for a friend's laptop without forcing me into a box of adapters. If you're the type who still spins vinyl once a week and listens to a pair of bookshelf speakers in a modestly sized living room, the Model 50's Class A/B amp delivers a clean, detailed sound that feels more like a conversation than a concert. The power rating isn't published in an eye-catching headline, but real-world testing from a handful of reviewers shows that the amp can drive most efficiency-rated speakers comfortably past 70 dB SPL without strain. In plain terms, you'll get enough headroom to raise the volume for a movie night or lower it for an intimate evening without hearing the amp's breath get in the way. A practical strength shows up when you plug in a turntable. The built-in Phono stage gives you the proper RIA equalization, so you don't need an external preamp to get clean, warm vinyl playback. I've seen users mention that the gain control is straightforward, a simple knob that lets you match the cartridge output level without digging through menus. That matters because it eliminates the guesswork that often leads to either a weak, tinny sound or an overdriven, harsh output. If your collection includes anything from 33 revolutions per minute LPs to 45 revolutions per minute singles, the amp handles them with ease. Another everyday scenario is when you want to add a subwoofer for those low-frequency moments in a movie soundtrack or a modern jazz record that leans on the upright bass. The Model 50 offers a dedicated subwoofer output with a level control, meaning you can dial in the exact bass boost without adding a separate crossover or external processor. In my own experience, setting the sub level to around 70% gave a satisfying depth without masking the mid-range detail that Marantz is known for. For listeners who prefer a clean, balanced setup, no extra amp, no extra box, the built-in sub-out is a small but highly convenient feature. On the flip side, there are some trade-offs you need to be aware of before you click Add to Cart. First, there's no digital connectivity. If you rely on a TV or a streaming stick for your audio source, you'll have to route everything through an external DAC or a separate digital input device before it reaches the Model 50. That's not a deal-breaker for many analog purists, but it does add a step for anyone hoping for a single cable solution. Second, the integrated amp is a stereo-only unit. If you already own or plan to expand to a surround sound system, this product won't accommodate a multi-channel setup. Marantz does make full AV receivers, but the Model 50 commits to a two-channel experience, which is perfect if you want to keep things simple, and a limitation if you think you'll upgrade to 5.1 in the near future. Who should buy this amp? If you're a vinyl enthusiast with a couple of quality speakers, maybe a small subwoofer, and you value a Hanson feel without a labyrinth of digital menus, the Model 50 is a strong contender. It also suits people who have an existing analog source chain turntable, CD player, tape deck, who want to keep that chain intact while getting a fresh, clean power stage. The 5-year warranty that Marantz includes also adds peace of mind for those worried about long-term reliability. You're essentially getting a small service window that's longer than many entry-level amps provide. Who should skip it? If you're looking for an all-in-one home theater solution with HDMI, Dolby Atmos, or built-in streaming apps, this isn't the product. Also, if your speaker system demands a lot of power, think larger floor-standing cabinets or very low-efficiency models. You might find the integrated 2-channel design a tad underpowered.